Help me reach 500 subscribers. I didn't rush when the message came through. Stuck late at work, love you. There was nothing urgent about it, nothing that asked for concern. I read it once, then again, and placed my phone face down on the table. Across from me, 2 tables away, my wife leaned forward, smiling the way she used to smile at me when we were still trying to impress each other. Her hand rested lightly on the arm of another man, casual, practiced, familiar. The restaurant hummed with quiet conversations and clinking glasses. A normal Friday night. The kind we used to have before excuses replaced plans. I watched her laugh, head tilting back slightly, eyes soft. She wasn't checking her phone. She wasn't distracted. She was present in a way she hadn't been with me in months. That was the part that landed first. Not the betrayal. The effort. I didn't feel anger right away. I felt still. My body went calm, like it had been waiting for this moment to finally make sense of everything that hadn't. The late nights. The sudden meetings. The way she started guarding her phone like it contained state secrets. I had told myself I was paranoid. I wanted to be the kind of man who trusted his wife without question. Sitting there, watching her brush her thumb against his knuckles, I realized trust hadn't been the problem. I had been. The man across from her leaned in, said something that made her cover her mouth as she laughed. He wasn't handsome in any remarkable way. Average height, clean shirt, confident posture. He looked comfortable, like he belonged there with her. That detail mattered more than I expected. This wasn't impulsive. This wasn't a mistake made after too much wine. This was a routine. My phone buzzed again. You home yet? I didn't pick it up. I kept my eyes on her instead. The way she shifted her chair closer. The way her body angled toward him, shutting out the rest of the room. When she kissed him, it wasn't rushed. It wasn't stolen. It was deliberate. Soft at first, then longer, familiar lips meeting without hesitation. No scanning the room. No fear of being seen. That confidence told me everything I needed to know. I paid my bill quietly. The waiter asked if everything was all right. I nodded. I stood, adjusted my jacket, and walked past their table without slowing. She didn't see me. Or maybe she did and chose not to react. I'll never know. I pushed through the door and stepped into the cold night air, breathing deeper than I had all evening. On the drive home, I thought about the early days. How she used to text me during her lunch break just to tell me what she was eating. How she used to call when she was running 5 minutes late. Somewhere along the way, effort became optional. For her. I told myself that was what long marriages looked like. Comfortable. Quiet. Safe. What I didn't realize was that comfort for one can feel like neglect to the other. When I got home, the house was dark. I sat on the edge of the bed and stared at the wall. I didn't cry. I didn't punch anything. I didn't rehearse confrontations in my head. I simply accepted what I had seen. There was a strange relief in that. No more guessing. No more hoping I was wrong. She came home after midnight. I heard her keys before I heard her voice. She stopped when she saw me sitting there, fully dressed, lights on. Her face shifted quickly, surprise smoothing into something careful. You're up late, she said. Long day. I looked at her, really looked, and noticed the small details I had missed before. The faint smile that lingered too long. The scent of someone else's cologne mixed with her perfume. She started talking about work. A project. A deadline. I let her finish. When she asked why I was quiet, I told her the truth. I was at the restaurant. 2 tables away. The color drained from her face. She opened her mouth, then closed it. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. I simply said I saw you. She tried to explain. Words rushed out, overlapping, excuses wrapped in emotion. It didn't matter. Not because it didn't hurt, but because explanations don't undo choices. I told her I wasn't interested in details. I was interested in decisions. Mine and hers. That night I slept on the couch. In the morning I packed a bag. She watched silently, tears finally falling, apologies spilling too late. I told her I believed she was sorry. I also told her sorry doesn't rebuild trust. It just acknowledges it's gone. As I closed the door behind me, I didn't feel like a man who had lost something. I felt like a man who had stopped lying to himself. Sometimes the most painful discoveries aren't about betrayal. They're about clarity. And once you have it, you don't get to pretend you don't. In the days that followed, messages came in waves. Long paragraphs. Short apologies. Promises shaped like questions. I didn't block her. I didn't respond either. Silence wasn't punishment. It was alignment. Friends asked what happened. I kept it simple. The truth doesn't need decoration. I focused on small routines. Early mornings. Long walks. Meals eaten without distraction. Each ordinary act felt like reclaiming ground I had slowly surrendered. I wasn't healing dramatically. I was stabilizing. There's a difference. Healing wants a story. Stability wants consistency. At night, memories tried to renegotiate. Good times lined up like witnesses for the defense. I acknowledged them without letting them decide. Love doesn't disappear because it's betrayed. It changes shape. It becomes something you carry without feeding. That was the hardest lesson. Not letting hope argue its way back into a room it no longer belonged in. Clarity demands discipline. Discipline is quieter than regret always.